Hey, what's up? It's your boy Lil L, and this is the NSYNC Era podcast. I'm your
Yeah.
host, I'm your DJ, I'm your MC, I'm everything, and we got a guest today to start off the season 2 premiere of the NSYNC Era podcast. And this man right here, woo-wee! This man, woo-wee! Music
Hey.
modeling, we talk and like a lotus. We talk about this man right here. Man is a NWI legend. Got music on all plat, MC, instrumentalist, open mic host, coordinator, rapper, singer, songwriter. Woo, man, this man do a lot of things. We talk about this man because crazy. We talking about Mr. Dope himself, Dope. Mic Over, everybody. Woo!
What's good? Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate the intro for sure. Thanks for having me, man.
Got to give you your flowers, man. Got to give you your flowers, man. Definitely.
Oh God.
Y'all your flowers, man. How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing just chilling, just got off work, was looking forward to doing this all day and shit.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
I'm excited.
Man, it's we go. I mean, this is gonna be a good one, man. This starting off season 2. Season 1, was a bang, but this season 2, looking to do improve and do better in season 2, man. And I definitely wanted to start this off, with you on it,
Oh yeah.
to add some spark to it. Yeah. So, man, like, for people that don't know, I mean, well, it's hard, because NWI legend, hint, hint. But for the people that don't know, man, give an introduction to yourself for the people, for the audience that's listening and watching.
So I'm Mike Over. I exist. I happen to do things with a guitar and my voice and rap beats, and when it comes to music, that's my thing, and I do it. And I also do a lot of other stuff other than just music, but music is basically everything that I do that's not music somehow ties into my music because everything's connected. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm a musician. I call myself a rapper or a singer or whatever, but I'm a musician,
Okay.
and I'm out here.
All right.
Out here.
You out here. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I want to start off because, like everybody know, we don't have interviews around here. We have conversations.
On
It's
God.
something different. We drop gems. So can you just describe how it is on your end as being a independent, grassroots artist, and and going from within? Because a lot of people, they just are artists, right? But they don't go from within. Like I hear your music and you go from within. It's not like you just doing it like, okay, well, I'm trying to get followers today, or I'm trying to get this. No, you're going from within. Tell them how.
Yeah.
I mean, how you feel like that importance of going from within and with being an independent artist.
So I think the main important thing about having music that's coming from inside of you, which in basically all of it's coming from inside of us, but if it's not coming from a place of like individuality, like it's not coming from a place of originality and just like who you are as a person, you know, what you believe in, how you feel, it's usually just kind of like you're either like really expressing yourself for who you are, or you're like taking shit you see in the world and trying to mock it and mimic it. And I think that being an independent artist is the most important thing nowadays, especially in a world where we're given these tools and we're given all of this shit that's in our hand. And then everybody's like, well, I need a cosign, I need a label, I need this help, I need this. And it's just like, no, like You can do the marketing yourself. You know, you and your buddies can, find some places to play at yourself. You make merch yourself. Look at you. Look at you. You be making merch for everybody. And it's just like being an independent artist you know, it's important, and it's a struggle for sure. It's a struggle, but it's worth it. Hip hop to me is like the main basis to hip hop to me. The two things is like pure expression, and then like the come up. It's like the struggle. It's like pushing through your struggles and making it on the other side.
Mhm.
So yeah, and it's like if I don't go within, where else am I gonna go?
Mhm.
I'm good. It's like a lot of rappers nowadays, a lot of new age famous rappers, they don't go within. They run away from inside. And then they do drugs and they do this and they do that. And I'm not sitting there saying I don't do drugs. I've had my fair share of drugs. I've dealt with addiction, but like I realized that I had to go within and I had to quit running from that shit. And it's like using music to help me go within and to help others go within has helped me, and other people who do it too, it's helped me. So it's important.
Exactly. Exactly. Jazz walk. Hey, let me see a jazz walk. Jazz walk. Like, tell me
Yeah.
about that jazz walk song, man. Because that jazz walk song, like that was really catchy. Like, tell me, how did you feel when you was making the jazz walk song, man, or the
So
process of making?
I was on a trip to record my second album, Letter to Whoever, and right before I left, I had this idea of this third project I want to drop, which was a social experiment, which was Live in Peace.
Yeah.
And Puma Productions, shout out Jordan, Puma Productions on the beat. He plays
Shout
saxophone.
out.
On God, he sent me a couple beats, and it was like right after I had this idea where it was like whoever wanted to make music in this short period of time, and whoever sent me anything, I'd be like, hey, I'm throwing it on this project. I'm going to write this song. I'm going to name this song after the file you sent me, and I'm going to write it. And he sent me this smooth jazz beat, and it was called Jazz Walk. And I was like, oh, yeah. Funny thing is though, that this Jazz Walk is the Lotus and Jazz Walk aren't the original songs.
Ooh, okay.
Jazz Walk I actually wrote. It was kind of like more of like it was kind of like some Marvin, not Marvin Gaye. It didn't sound like that, but it was like some sexy shit. It was like about like like I love it when you jazz walk, and I was talking about this girl and this and that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we're not gonna get into the girl or anything, but I wrote that on a plane, and then a couple weeks later I was like, I kind of want to make this more like universal. And it was like, for one, it was like I didn't really have feelings for the girl anymore, so it was like I want to make this more universal. I want people to be able to feel like this is for them, for everybody, not just one individual person. So it was like, I just made a little, it's a feel yourself song, It's like, do jazz walk, move them hips, forget what the world thinks. Shake it like you own it.
Yeah.
Just like anybody, for anybody. I didn't want to individually aim towards somebody. And like, I wrote the first one on a plane, and then I got off the plane and I was putting the album together, and I was like, you know what? No, I want this to be like people to be able to dance to it, and then not just to be like, I wanted it to be universal and for everybody to feel like it was like the song was like telling them to jazz walk.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a bop.
It is a bop, because man, I remember we was at Down the Rabbit Hole show. Shout out to Goodfellas. We was at Down the Rabbit Hole show, and I remember when you played it, because I told you, I was like, man, that song fire. And I remember when you started performing it, I couldn't help myself. I was over there dancing on the dance floor. I was like, hey, but I told you I got a routine in this song. It was groovy. It is a bop. Like you said.
Oh, it's a bop.
It's a bop.
You got them moves, though. You got them moves for sure.
Yeah, and it was really groovy, you know. The Live in Peace album, that right there, it had many elements. I mean, you basically said it was a social like experiment, you know, and
Yeah,
everything like that. And like it has many different elements. Like that's an album to where for me personally, as a viewer, as a listener, that's an album where it has like literally everything. Like this album right here is not a specific hip hop, not bluegrass, not you know, new age, not contemporary jazz, you know, not
you know,
boom bap. This is everything.
everything. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think the hardest thing about well, it wasn't even hard. The weirdest thing about putting that album together was like, how the hell does this all flow? Like, how the hell does this sound like one project still? Like, there's 16 tracks on it, at least 7 different producers and all these different styles, and like
Hmm.
somehow this front to back is like one stream. Like it's always the plan of an album is
Hmm.
for it to be one stream of consciousness.
Right.
I don't want to make an album where it's like I got like I'm in the studio and I got my vault with like 70 songs in it, and like every 3 months I'm like I'm gonna pick 6 of these songs. Like when I make an album, it's all conceptual. You know, I come up with that album concept, and
Hmm.
then I just start from there, and it's all somehow universally fits. But yeah, Live in Peace, man. It was a
Hmm.
that was a good album, and I appreciate you for playing the show too. That was my first album release show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember, man, it was amazing. Like, you know, I remember like, you know, that day, it was crazy because I didn't have too much money in my pocket that day, but I just said to myself, man, you know, because I seen you was selling them, I was like, man, let me just give a donation. Like if I don't get a CD, that's fine. I just want to give a donation. I scrapped it, whatever. And I remember like you still end up giving me a CD, man. That was love. Like, you know, like,
Oh,
I think I probably had like $5, $6, $7. I was like, hey man, hey, I ain't got the whole 10, but hey, this is a donation. He was like, man, he was like, bro, here you go. I was like,
yeah, for
oh
real.
man, you know, I
Yeah,
appreciate that because
of
um,
course.
you know, it's just that party right there, that will not just party but show that man, that will always be like a special show to me.
Same.
Because that was like the first time for um I say, you know, me to perform in front of a decent enough crowd. Like, you
Yeah.
know, as far as a show
Yeah,
other than coming to open mic.
more than just me and two sit staff members.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
but you came out though. Like you
Hmm.
coming out and you doing that. Like if you didn't do that, like what would have happened? It's like
Exactly.
those little just that one person, and it's just like change everything.
Hmm.
And I was like, I owe you a show, if not like handfuls of shows. I was like, just start coming out that one week and then coming to Sip Crown Point. And like you came out in the deadest season of open mics. Like,
Right.
literally like open mics now, like there's at least 10 to 15 people each time in the crowd.
Hmm.
And like 3 weeks ago we had like 35 people there, and it's like
Hmm.
11 performers, a decent amount, like almost like a show.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's cool because I think you got a good open mic in once. I think you came, you were doing something. I don't know. You
You
were in
talking
town
about?
for some reason.
Oh yeah, you talking about before the birthday
Wait,
show?
it was before. Yeah, it was the
Before,
Friday before the
yeah,
Goodfellas, the NSYNC era show, and that was a good
yeah.
open mic. That wasn't a bad open mic. It was actually decent.
That was good. It
Yeah.
was wavy. It was wavy.
You had Mythical over there, just wom wom.
Hey, on beatbox, I said, man, I can sample that. Like, man, he was over there, boom, like man, you know. But man, so like as far as your process, because you are an instrument, you are an instrumentalist as well. As far as like working with your guitar and doing open mics, because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like you have a world record of open mics, like a world record of open mics you have
Yeah.
done. Like
Yeah.
talk about how you started hosting open mics.
Um. So when I was actually the second time I ever performed was at an open mic. So open mic really like broke me out of like learning how to perform, stage fright, all that open mics. But I got a job at Sip Crown Point in 2018, and it was about. I got a job there a week before Mac Miller passed away, so I believe like a week or 2 weeks. It was in like late August, I think, when I got a job there, and a few weeks after I was there, I was just talking about music and stuff, and then my owner's like, the owner, like my boss, she's just like, oh, if you want to come in every Friday and host open mics for $50, you can. I was like, like run it up. I don't know if I don't know. I don't think I was doing those ones on Friday. I think it was Saturdays, but I was like, bet. I was like, wait, did I just hear that I'm gonna get paid to play music? And it was like, I came and I hosted an open mic. I was so nervous when I came and I started hosting open mics, Ellis. I had 3 songs on my guitar. 3 songs on my guitar. I had Until I Come Back, I had Gravity, and I think I had 2 other songs that I wrote that I don't know of anymore that were kind of a little corny. They didn't stand like Gravity, like they weren't timeless,
Right.
They
They
did
didn't hit
not
like that.
time. And I would show up with my keyboard, my Yamaha PSR or whatever. Yeah. And it was, garage sale Yamaha keyboard, but it was nice. And I had about 4 rap songs that I would play on my keyboard. And I'd set up my keyboard first and I started rapping. I played my guitar. There was a decent amount of performers too that first like 3 months. I just kept doing it. And then I was doing Sip Crown Point and Sip Highland. Sip Highlands never were like how they are now. Like that, the whole music community that existed like back then, there's maybe a few people, which in it would literally be like the people from Notes. Like I'd say like Jerry and Brett. They were the only people I really knew that were a part of this big music community that are like a part of like the newer ones. And it's like it was different, it was a lot of metal bands, it was a lot of different acoustic artists. It was a lot of like psychedelic jazz and jam bands and shit like that. Not just jam bands, but like really, really jammy shit though. And the music community was a lot different. And it was like a whole different fucking scene. And so I was like hosting open mics like that for a few months, and it really got me out of my shell. It really got me into like community, and it got me a lot of connections and stuff. And it was cool because I was making $50 every. And then when I was doing Highland and Crown Point, it was like I was making $100 a weekend playing music. It was like never in my life, like, well, I always wanted to make all this money, get famous and rich, all that shit. Which, I still got plans to make the money, but it's like I'm not seeking attention anymore. I'm paying attention, and there's a difference.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't seek a teaching. I just said it. We don't seek a teaching. We don't seek attention. We don't seek attention though. We pay attention, and that's the way to actually be successful, is to pay attention, not to seek attention. A lot of people are envious and they're like, "But I want attention, and that person's getting it." And it's like, pay attention to what they're doing. Don't judge what they're doing. Pay attention. Don't copy them, but take notes. Take some notes. And it was cool just making money, and playing. And like at that point, I didn't really care about the money. I mean, all my money from there and like from my job at that time, I spent on fucking drugs. I never had 1 penny invested in my music. I never had any money to buy anything other than fucking drugs. And I bought some superfoods and shit, but it's like all I spent my money on was weed and booze. And like that's all I spent my fucking money on. And it's like crazy to think nowadays, like I quit doing open mics for at least about a year. I did a couple in between around like October 2019, and then I quit doing them for about a year, and then Sip Lakeside opened, and it was like, bet, like we're gonna start up a new open mic somewhere else. And it was like, I have been at that location every Friday since last July. Other than 2 Fridays, I've hosted at least like 75 open mics just at Sip Lakeside. I've probably hosted anywhere from like 40 to 60 at Sip Crown Point and like probably like only like 10 at Highland. I've hosted at least like 150 to like 200 open mics, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, I'm done. I love hosting open mics, but it's to the point. It's like I'm about to be hosting a closed mic. Like, like and don't get me wrong, like I love it and I'm blessed, and it's like to think that I haven't made $50 each time I hosted one of those open mics, and people told me I never make money off music. Think about that. 150 times 150.
Yeah. Do the
50
math.
times 100.
Do the math.
Exactly. That's at least like $5,000 at least. 50 times 10 is 500.
I put a calculator out.
50 times 20. Yeah, at least like I've made it overall. I've probably made like $10,000 off music, and it's like I always put all my money.
That's 7,500. 50 times 150. That's 7,500 right there.
Yeah, and that's just off open mics.
Just off open mics.
Merch,
do the math,
gigs, farmers markets, and you know I was hosting open mics at hosting open mics at Goodfellas was a whole different story, because it was like I'm playing at a bar now. I'm on stage. There's speakers, like there's PA system, not just a shitty amp and a mic.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's been fun. It's been dope, but like I feel like there's like a huge chapter in my life that's like it's closing soon, so I can like start playing the big venues, start playing like branching off. I want to focus more on like my music than like hosting open mics. Like every second I have off of my job, I feel like I'm complaining. I ain't trying to complain on your podcast.
You're all right.
No, this is just the struggles of an artist that's trying to make, you know. I'm blessed.
Talk about it. We talk about it. We talk about it.
I'm gonna leave this there. I'm blessed and I'm happy that I've gotten to host as many open mics as I have. I'm planning on February is when that's it.
You plan on growing. So you talk about growth. We not trying, you know, we talked about growth. We talked about this, you know. I'm gonna say this. We talked about growth instead of jogging in place. It's like something has to change. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's all growth. It's all growth. Like, you know, you start something like that, and then all of a sudden, when you have that feeling of, all right, man, like, you know, like now, like, all right, something has to change, or now we got to move a step further. All you doing is taking steps. That's all you're doing, you know. And at the same time, with the connections, and talk about those, like, think about the connections that you have made by doing the open mics.
So, man, I mean, we wouldn't be talking right now. That's like for sure, 100%. Almost every album cover of mine, like Mike, Letter to Ever, like that was all from SIP, you know. Connections I made at SIP and at the open mics, insane. Like features, you know, like people on my songs, people like that I played shows with, people that I've like helped out, people that have helped me out, people that I became really, really close with and really good friends with. And it's like, it's crazy, you know. And the different kinds of music I've seen, you know, like I've had an old man playing a banjo and singing. I've had little girls singing Katy Perry, like 8 of them at a time. And then like I've had people beatboxing. I watched somebody paint and tell a story about Kendrick Lamar at an open mic, and that was his act. And like I've just seen so much shit at open mics that's like insane. Like from like blues artists to folk artists to jazz artists to, you know, heavy metal artists to funk artists to electro box.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, shout out L. L's out here crafting his own genres and shit. For real though.
Yeah. So talk about how important it is, especially like, okay, because one of the things that I want the audience to know, especially, you know, especially depending with artists as well that are on here, like musical artists and stuff, how important it is to make connections as an independent artist. Because you know, some people they just sit there, do music, upload, like they don't make connect. Like tell them how important it is, like to make connections as independent artists?
So as an independent artist, you cannot be a happy, not even just successful. Happiness is success, but you cannot be a happy, successful independent artist if you sit inside your house and that is all you do. Like make music, post music, make music, post music. You got to get out. You got to play events. You got to go to coffee houses. You got to go to, whether it's a bar or a church. You got to go somewhere, to a park. You got to go find people and talk to people, because this world is all about connections. And it's like being an artist and just sitting at home making a single and posting it on SoundCloud, and no one. For one, you don't know how fucking, like, some of these people, like, I know so many kids, L, that, like, I've seen on Twitter like 4 years ago, like, yo, it's fucking whack. Listen to my music. No one listens to my music. I'm like, you don't know the market. You post a song on SoundCloud and send it to 10 people. People think this is how it goes. People think this is how it goes, though. That I'm gonna post a song, I'm gonna send it to 50 of my friends, and every single one of those friends are gonna send it to 50 of their friends, and then all those people, and they think that's how it goes, and it's really not, you know. Just sending it to your friends is a huge deal, and sending it to the people you know, but it's like, you got to market yourself. You know all about the market. You know, you got campaigns and shit. You're running market campaigns, and like that's something I've actually yet to do, because I've been waiting for the sound, and I know that, like, I'm putting some time, money, and effort into my next project. But connections is important, you know. Connections is that's how you do it in the music world, you know. Especially like, there's a lot of kids that are rappers. They don't know how to make beats. You know, you got to go out and make that connection. There's a lot of people that make beats that want to sell their beats. There's people that want to just collab, and it's like they got to go out and make that connection. You know, it's like there's kids that play guitar and want to be in a band, but like they're at home and they're not in a band. It's like you got to go out and make that connection. You know, I played in different bands. I've played, you know, it's like it's all about connection. You know, I think the main importance about being an independent artist is drive, being humble, and being willing to go out of your comfort zone. Because if you don't have those three things, you're not going to be able to make connections.
Ooh, you spin.
Bars.
Bars. Because I just want to say something. You just made me think about something. I just want to say something. I've said this on, you know, the 666 episode, but I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say it, and for a lot of people, this is going to hurt. I'm going to say it. If you don't listen, mama don't count, granny don't count, auntie don't count. Those just people that's just sitting. Listen. If you don't invest in yourself, instead of just thinking about, oh, free, and free. Some free publicity. I mean, free publicity is good to a certain extent. I'm not gonna knock, you know. But I'll say this: if you're not willing to sacrifice and you're not willing to invest in yourself, which means whether you gotta hustle to get a certain amount of bread to put behind a marketing budget, anything, get if you don't got a studio, get somebody to record you. If you ain't got you don't know how to do your covers, get somebody to make the cover. All this, you know, if you're not willing to learn, like you said, because some people just have one hat. If you're not willing to learn these other different things to be able to make your own cover, to be able to record your own music and all that, you're not investing in yourself. You don't care about it.
That's
you
facts,
don't care
bro.
about it.
You know what's crazy is that you invest in yourself and you invest in that bread and other people, even though somehow you know how to make your beats, your covers, and do all that shit. Yeah, you have the capability to do all that. Yeah, you're still investing your money in other people, which says a lot. You know, you have the ability to be as independent as you want, and you choose to make more connections because it's helping you as an independent artist. You could just sit there and make your own every single cover. I've seen the little thing rolling across. I've seen the moving cover and shit before. I remember that shit. You remember what I'm talking about?
You said which one? Which one? I'm
The
thinking.
cover you made, that like the song cover, it might have been an EP cover. I don't know if it
Talking
was.
about Time Machine.
No, it was the one that it had the thing moving on it. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to think.
You made like this graphic, and
Animation.
yeah, you made an animation.
The tape machine. The tape
The tape
machine.
machine, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can make your own graphics. You know how to make your own merch. You know how to make your own beats. You know how to record yourself. You know how to mix and master yourself. You know how to market yourself. But what do? You still go out and you make more. You go out of your way to make more connections than anybody I know. Literally, you came to my fucking hometown in Northwest Indiana, and you literally went through my Instagram, saw the people I was posting about, which was Moy. And like, I'm talking to Moy on the phone one day. He's like, "Oh yeah, like a 3-hour phone call with Little L." I was like, "Little L? How the fuck do y'all know each other?" And then like 2 weeks later, you got an album with the Closets or some shit. And I'm like I don't know if it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks or some shit. And I'm like, how the fuck? And like you're making all this music with everybody. You're making all these, you know. And now, you're sitting here doing merch for everybody here. You're sitting here making tapes and CDs for everybody here. You're in Michigan, but you literally realize that like the connections around you weren't able to be made and weren't worth being made. So you drove 3 hours to an open mic, Ellis, to meet me and 2 people that were working there with gratitude. And you were happy to perform, and you were happy to meet me, and you were happy to be there. And that goes far, and it's went far, and it's going to continue to go far, because you planted a seed of love. You did not plant a seed of this ain't enough, fuck this shit. You planted a seed of love, and you planted a seed of gratitude.
Man, appreciate it.
And look where it's got you. Look where your choices have got you. Look where your attitude has got you.
Appreciate it. And I highly appreciate it. And I always tell my guests, I'm like, hey, it's not about me, it's not about me, it's about you. But I highly appreciate
Hey, you are a part of my journey and a part of my story, Ellis.
Oh man, appreciate you. And and the thing about it, I'm gonna jump in on here. And the thing about it is that, I remember. I remember when I first. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna go there. The first time open mic, we're gonna go there. Now you even brought up. We're gonna go there. I remember, on Facebook, there was open mic and coming up, and I remember my mom. I was talking to my mom about it, and I was talking to T about it and stuff like that, and she also, my mom, shout out to Mama L. Shout out to Mama L. I love you, Mama. Shout out to Mama L. But what happened was I called SIP Lakeside. No, I called SIP Crown Point, because the actual event on Facebook was Crown Point. I'm like, okay, I'm calling, like, because at home here, there was nothing for us. So called, and they was like, no, there's not open mic here, but there's open mic on Lakeside. Here's the number, blah, blah, call them. They have a host and all of that. So I was like, okay, cool. I called over there, and shout out to Elizabeth. Shout out to her. That's on the phone. Shout out to her.
Oh God. Big shout out to Lizzie.
Yeah. And she was like, I called, I said, hey, are there open mics here? She was like, oh yeah, there's open mics here. We're trying to have people perform here and everything. Yes, there's open mics. And I was like, what time is it and all that? And she was like, oh, it's at this time, blah, blah. And, we want to pay people to come over here and, perform and everything and do gigs and everything. So I was like, okay. I was like, we're all the way from Michigan. She was like, Michigan? All right, from Michigan? What? And I said, yes, listen, I go by the name Lil L. And and we have the group called Feature Presentation, FP for short. We'll be there tomorrow. And she was like, oh, okay, well, I'll let you guys know. Thank you. So I hung up, and we forgot you guys on Chicago time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we came 2 hours early. 2 hours early on a minimum tank of gas. 2 hours
Crazy.
early. Minimum tank of gas. We hit it. We there and they was like, oh, they got food. We even paid some food and everything, ate. And when we went there, it was playing lo-fi beats.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ooh. Like, ooh. So I'm like, okay. And then I remember you came in, like, it was like a few hours later. And, you know, because I was asking them, because the first person I met was Elizabeth there, you know, and, you know, I was like, hey, you know, we're from Michigan. Oh, you guys, the guys, oh, goodness. It's like, oh, you guys came early. It's not till 2 hours, you know, just 2 hours. So I was like, you guys will be on Chicago time. She was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, she's like, don't leave. Don't leave. You know, order off the menu. And the place was, shout out to the Sip franchise, Sip Coffee House franchise. They're amazing. They're amazing. And I just remember, you know, you came in and I seen you and I introduced myself. And I remember, oh, so funny. I remember I came up to you, I was like, hey, how you doing? And you were looking so confused. I know you didn't know me. It's like, how you doing, man? You know, I go by Lil L and everything. And first thing I heard was, first ever word, dude. And I was like, hey, you know, we got a band. No, we're a soul band. And, duh. And then after that, and T, I don't know if you seen, but T was like right next to you. He was laughing under the mask because he kept on saying dope. And, you know, and everything. And I was like, you know, hey, we got a nice set for you, you know, and all that. Because we, you know, put the set together on the highway.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm over here. Okay, we got this song, that song, that song. And I still got the footage. It's on the channel. And, you know, it's on the channel, you know, subscribe. Hey, right, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel.
For real. Y'all wanna go see that first performance. You wanna go see that route, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I remember at the time, you know, you were recording everything on live, you know, everything on live. And so, you know, it was an archive. I'm mad because your profile, man, you had to get through profile, man. It had all the archives, all the archives. And so, yeah, we came there and you was like, you know, shout out, you know, here, you know, all right, everybody got performing, you know, FP. And so we went up there and, you know, we didn't care whether it was 5 people. It was just you, the staff, and then other people. And we started performing, you know. And what was so funny was I started breakdancing, and then the shades came off, and then I still was dancing. And then I went before the song left. I picked the shades up, and then I went to the next song. But yeah, that was the genesis. So, you know, and after meeting you, then, you know, but for meeting you and, you know, going there and meeting you, open up the opportunity in the open arms of Northwest Indiana. So, you know, it's connections, everyone. Connections, everyone. And you also have to know what to do with those connections. Like a lot of people, they can have all the connections in the world, but it's still people that don't even use their connection.
Yeah, exactly. That's a huge thing, you know. It's meeting the right people, you know. It ain't about how many people, you know. It's about who you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's like some like bumper sticker shit, but like it ain't about how many people you know. It's about who you know, and that's true. Mm-hmm. And I'm not like saying like I'm the shit or anything, but it's like you know, it's just crazy, you know. It's like that was 6 days after my birthday show. That was literally the day before my birthday. Like that was a day before my birthday. And it's like that same day is my birthday show this year. And you're coming back to play. And I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna get that flyer out within the next couple days. I'm gonna have that flyer done within the next few days. I need to find one more person to open. I'm trying to get this jazz band in there. Let's make that shit. Let's make this shit. This is my last show at Sip Lakeside. This is my last show at Sip Lakeside. Let's make this show the best. You know?
Oh yeah, you're gonna go
like
crazy.
The growth, everything has been getting better and better every show. From my birthday show was dope to the Live in Peace show was crazy to the Rabbit Hole show to literally like, you know, your birthday show too. Like the I Love Myself show was insane, and then
Mhm.
Floral Fever obviously
Well,
went insane. It's like this show, we
mhm.
gotta go all out. We
Oh
gotta go
yeah,
all out. Hopefully it'll be the album release show.
hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the plan. But
Mhm.
if not, it's a birthday. It's a birthday bash for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah. So talk about your writing process, man. Talk about like, like talk about like, like Mike Over and just like making preparation for an album and just like, or for a single, like about your writing process.
So basically, I don't have uh I don't have like a ritualistic like way I write. I'm all over the fucking place.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a problem, sometimes it's a blessing. Uh, some days I wake up and I'm listening to a song and I'm like, I just get this feeling. So I pick up my guitar and I start yodeling, real loud, blues yodeling and shit. And then, like the bluegrass shit. And then, some days I wake up, I'm in the shower listening to Spotify and I get that feeling, but it's for hip hop. So like, I get my notebook out, I either go to sip and start writing, I go to, I just write at home and I write a lot of my guitar songs outside. I try to, when I'm writing acoustic songs, like every acoustic song you've heard by me was most likely wrote barefoot in the grass. That's that side of Mike Over. Like the guitar, like, like let's save the earth type shit. Like that's me in the grass barefoot, like
Mhm.
fucking feeling the breeze and shit. And then, hip hop's just me indoors, just I started writing music. The first song I ever wrote was in seventh grade choir class, and it was called "Money Everywhere," and it was so corny. It sounded like a shitty Ludacris song. Ludacris recorded like a shitty like Ludacris song. It was like money everywhere, money everywhere, money, money everywhere, and it was like really corny. And then I wrote another song about Call of Duty because a kid. I wrote a song about Black Ops because a kid that I knew wrote a song about Black Ops, and everybody thought it was hilarious. And this is before SoundCloud. There was no fucking SoundCloud when I was in seventh grade. There was nothing. There was nothing. You got Pandora, you got YouTube. I don't even know if Pandora was a thing when I was in seventh grade. Like
Mhm.
iPhone 1 might have been coming out then. Maybe I'm not that old. But and then it was just a joke, it was just writing for fun. And I was always into singing, and I was always into music, and I would freestyle and make funny raps like my freshman year with my friends in a basement.
Mhm.
And this summer before my junior year, I was hanging out with a group of friends. Shout out Matt Lynch. Big shout out to Matt Lynch. Uh, and we just really loved music. Like all we did was sit there and just sit in my friend's garage till 4 in the morning and like sing music together and like rap together. And then he just had this. He's like, there's these other kids in school making music, and he's like, these kids are whack. Like they're whack kids. They're douchebags. They're like little Chad Brads. Like they're fake kids. He's like, we're serious people. Like let's make music and like put it out there and see what people think. And then like me and him just started writing. We wrote 3 songs in his garage each, and we posted 3 songs within a week on SoundCloud. And I Headed to the Future, the first one. Uh, Not headed to the future on Like Mike. The outro to Like Mike is actually Headed to. That's why there's a number. It's a part two.
Mhm.
Um, I wrote Headed to the Future. I wrote Who the Fuck Is This Kid? And I wrote Thought Madness. Thought Madness stuck. People
Okay.
love that shit. It was gross. It was disgusting. It was very vulgar. I was all about like T would love some Thought Madness.
Ah!
Like Stacey T would love some of that Thought. Like, dude, it was the nastiest shit I was saying, dog. Like the nastiest fucking shit. But I that feeling, that first feeling of writing a song, getting in a booth and writing, like writing that song in my buddy's garage, getting in his closet, recording, and then like dropping it, even recording it, like that was the first time I felt like I had something to look forward to. I had
Mhm.
something that like meant something to me. Like when I was younger, I wanted to be in the MLB. I wanted to be in the NBA. There was a point in my time in my life where I was like, I'm not talented enough. I don't get good grades. I don't have a scholar. I'm gonna do that shit. And then
Mhm.
when I found music, I was like, I think I'm decent at this, and I think that I can do this. And it's like, but then it became, ended up just kept doing it because it was helping me grow as a person. It was helping me
Mhm.
realize things. It was helping me get over pain. It was helping me express emotional trauma. I wrote, there's at least like 200 to 400 songs of mine that will never be posted. I no, like I'm saying, there's phones on phones of music from like my junior year, like the summer before junior year. There's at least 10 songs. Junior year, senior year. From like all the shit when I met Mary Lane. Well, we can get into that in a second. But
Mhm.
from literally up until Like Mike, like there's so much music that will never be ever fucking heard. I
Mhm.
came up with like 3 album ideas that never happened, and Like Mike was just, I did it. It was like I made an album, and it's like
Yeah.
cool, and it was like this is a thing, and uh, it's all original, and there's no tight beats or any bullshit anymore,
Yeah.
and yeah, making an album is my favorite thing in the world. Like literally making a project and putting it on is my favorite fucking thing in the world.
Yeah. Talk about the like Mike, because I
Ooh.
like I like the vibe of that. That vibe of that album is like you can lay back and you can chill, you can meditate, you can, actually for me when I first heard it, it was like it was something to where it's like if it is gonna be in description, y'all. Listen, check out Like Mike by
Oh
Mike Over.
God.
Listen. This piece of material, like this will be the first ever piece of like a reference to where if you want to hear Mike Over, check out Like Mike.
For real.
Like check
For
out
real.
Like Mike. You know
For real.
that's what if that would be to me if somebody would say, oh yeah, well what should I check out? What should I listen to first? Like Mike, talk about that project. That's so smooth, boy. Smooth.
Um, that project is pure magic. That project is beyond myself, and I am not better than that project. That project is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that I can't make a better project, but like that project was insane. I can't believe it was it was an experience that I went through, and the breakthroughs I had at that point in time, and the journey, the hero's journey I went on. It was like my buddy passed away, and then I decided that I was going to move away.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like Mary Lane, everybody was staying in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I was alone. I was like, dude, I gotta come with you guys. Like, we gotta be together. I need you guys. I don't need. I, I had them, and they were the only friends of mine who were stable people. All my friends were drug addicts. Everybody was falling
Mm-hmm.
apart because our friend just died. And it was like I didn't need to be here drinking and my sorrows and doing drugs. Like, I needed to be on the road with my friends making music. So it's like I moved to Arizona, and it's like we're all jamming as a band here and there, and like, but me and Alex was like, dude, let's make like a rap album, like let's
Mm-hmm.
let's make an album. And
Shout
I was
out to
like,
Alex.
yeah, shout out to XC Ren,
Yeah.
for real though. And I was just like, dude, is all I look forward to. And it was just like it was weird how I came up with the name and everything. It was all universal, like all everything happened like, yeah, I went from, coming up with it right before I moved out there to moving out there, and I had a few songs to it wrote before. I had 2 songs wrote to it before, which was Universal. Yeah, Universal and Head to the Future. I wrote the first and last song before I moved out there. And there was another song that was supposed to be on it called Spaceship with Vinny that never made it on it. There was 3 songs that didn't make it on Like My
Mm-hmm.
Spaceship, uh Brand New Day, and I don't remember what the other one's called, but I moved to Arizona, and me and Alex just he had beats, and we went through them, and I think there was only one beat he had that he made before I was out there, and then it's like we made the Lotus beat.
Mm-hmm.
We like together we made the Helping Hands beat, which are my 2 favorite songs. It's crazy that we made that together, And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I watched him sit there and make eclipse. I watched them, which is crazy because like I met her in Arizona. It was like crazy. Like I ended up like me and Christian, like it was like my friends were like, this girl's coming out to stay with us and she sings, we should make music with her. And I was like, bet. And like we started writing a song on my acoustic guitar, which I don't really know what happened to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, hey, like, do you want to be on my album? And like I was like, I got this perfect beat, you know, it's very like spacey and like it'd be good for like female vocals. And it's just like it went from me recording in Arizona to me living on a fucking weed farm in the middle of nowhere in a mountain range in California, like hours away from society on a mountain recording on solar panels. It's like I met this Brazilian woman and she's like, you're like she like you're the fool card. You're the fool card in the tarot deck. I was like, that's funny you say that. I have a song wrote called The Fool, and we're going in there to record it tonight. And she's like, it's all connected, you know. She's like, it's all connected. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it is. Everything's one, you know. And recorded The Fool out there. I was writing Lotus when I was out there in a house trimming a bunch of weed. I wrote Lotus
Mm-hmm.
on some downtime, but it wasn't that Lotus. It was about this girl. Thou shall not be named. It was about this girl.
Ah!
By the way, if you're watching this, I'm in love with the most beautiful woman in the world, and she's my favorite, and I'm blessed. And I have a past, and I've wrote music about my past.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my best songs I've wrote were about Elizabeth, and those have yet to come out. But
Hey, okay.
no, they come out. But it was like you look just like a lotus. It was like
Mm-hmm.
walk through the door when I needed you the most, girl. Step back in my life like you right on your tippy toe, girl. Something. You look like you look just like a lotus. And it was all about this girl. And there's a point in time where I became bitter and I was like, fuck this girl. And I was
Ah.
like, she does not get anything out of my first album.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I was like, fuck that shit. And then yeah, it was weird. I wrote Lotus. Um I might have even wrote Lotus after me and my boys like had a falling off and I moved back home. There like Mike felt like it wasn't gonna happen. I had like Mike all wrote or
Mm-hmm.
like 7 9 songs wrote, a couple recorded, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like didn't break up with my band, but like we had falling out and I moved back home and I was
Mm-hmm.
boom, I'm back home at my mom's house, fucking in my shit, get I get heart like I'm talking to this girl, she breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back home, I'm sad, I'm depressed, and I don't have this album done. And
Mm-hmm.
it was the worst feeling in the world. I felt like my life was collapsing. I never felt so fucking awful. And shout out Drake. Big shout out to the Hat Pin Plug. Shout out Drake. Uh,
Yeah.
he's not just the Hat Pin Plug to me. Like Drake is the reason for a lot of things. Drake
Mm-hmm.
is one of my biggest inspirations and biggest helpers, and has really helped me. These albums wouldn't exist without Drake. Um,
Shout out to Drake.
yeah, big shout out to Drake. And we're not talking Drizzy Drake. We're not
Oh
talking
no, we ain't
fucking
talking about him.
always running through the city. Yeah, we talk about Drake types. We talk about Drake types. We ain't talking about Aubrey Graham.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it wouldn't have happened without him. He's like, hey, he's like, basically he hit me up to make a move, and I had to do this move. I'm not gonna talk about it
Mm-hmm.
because I can't talk about that shit on camera. But I had to go do
Yeah.
some stuff,
Yeah.
and he's like, go do this for me, and he's like, get your album recorded. He's like, get your album done. Get
Mm-hmm.
your album recorded. Don't listen to anything anybody else says out there. Get your shit recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Some other shit happened and some bad shit happened, and I ended up only getting a few songs recorded. And then I got a couple in California, and then I went to Arizona. My friends ended up getting arrested on the way home from Arizona, which and I luckily trusted my intuition and ordered a flight home. and it saved my fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm back home, and I have 7 out of 9 songs recorded. The only 2 songs I don't have recorded is Eclipse and Like Mike, the 2 ones with features, because I had to be with them to record. I wanted to be with them while it was recorded. I wanted to record it with them.
Mm-hmm.
And around Christmas time, 2019, we got it done. I wanted to drop it in November 2019, but it didn't. I think got it done around Christmas time. We got it out January 21st, and it was a wrap. You know, it was that whole album is like the journey of a kid like finding himself, losing himself, and just running. You know, it's the Lotus. You know, it's like the mud. I was in the mud, and I blossomed out of it. And yeah. But yeah, shout out everybody that was part of like my shout out Alex, shout out Eric, shout out Christian, shout out Drake, shout out all of my homies in California, shout out my friends in Arizona, shout out Big Mike. My homie Big Mike was originally gonna be on the song Like Mike. He didn't end up on it, but yeah, just shout out all the people that made that happen, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Big time.
Yeah. I got a few more questions for you. So, how would you describe the NWI scene?
The NWI scene. I think the NWI scene is like hidden treasure, almost. Like at least the scene that we're talking about, like our scene that we're in is just hidden treasure. And I'm not saying the whole total thing isn't, but like every place you go, like Northwest Indiana, any like nice county that has like nice little like town cities and shit, like there's always going to be a bar scene. There's always going to be the blues artists. There's always going to be the people that play the bars. And like I play bars, it's cool, and I'm not against it, but it's like there's a difference in an underground music scene full of kids that are like aspiring artists trying to do something beyond the norm. And what we're doing and the music we're making and the originality, you know, it's like it's insane. You know, it's like we're not just like sitting here playing covers at bars. Like we're throwing fat shows at coffee houses and backyards and shit, like going hard as fuck, and we have like a cult following, you know. And it's just like the Northwest Indiana scene in general is fucking dope, and we're just like hidden treasure. And like, you know, someone's gonna find it. Someone's gonna find the treasure, and they're gonna hit gold.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Definitely, man.
For real.
Man, the thing about, you know, that hidden treasure is so special to me because, man, it's like, man, it's like stepping to another world, man. It's like stepping to another world, and it's just so much, you know, talent, so much talent. I'm gonna ask. Oh wait, go ahead.
That there is a huge group full of kids that all get together. They all drop everything in their life to get together to support each other. A huge group of kids. That matters more than anything. You know, like we're not doing drugs, we're not getting fucked up. We're all together making music, and it's dope and it's original and it's gonna be groundbreaking. That's dope. But
yeah. Like,
my bad. What were you saying?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I remember the first time. Well, I wouldn't say we had an interview. We had a conversation on IG Live. I remember it. And I did put it on here on the channel, but I remember it was on IG Live, and we were talking. We had like a good like hour convo already on IG Live. But I'm gonna ask you, as far as being an independent artist, how important? Like, okay, I'm gonna say it like this, and you're gonna remember. I feel like you're gonna remember, but basically, betting on yourself versus betting on, I say, your other people to be involved, which is reliability. Say, for instance, you know that if you bet on yourself, you know that whatever's gonna get done with yourself is guaranteed. It's just the reliability of other people, which is a 50-50. You know, it's not fully all the way there. Like you have to,
Yeah.
it either has to be money involved where you're paying somebody for their services, or they have to really like you have to really have the love for you as an artist to help you out with what you're doing. Like, you know, how important and how would you describe to a person that if you're doing something, you know that betting on yourself is going to be the most guarantee other than, having to rely on other people for, said such thing. Just like say, for instance, you're on the band, the band members don't show up, but you're there.
Yeah.
Or for instance, you pay you pay somebody to be at a location to do a certain, like say you pay a photographer, they're not there, you don't got no pictures. Or if they can't come, you ain't got no pictures. How important is betting on yourself versus,
I think betting on yourself is probably the most important thing. And I think having tools and having accessible tools and businesses and having places that you can rely on is a good thing, but in a controlled setting, because if not, it's like other people got other lives, it's like, I'm caught up in the mix right now, and it's like I love the people I work with and I love the people that I'm doing the stuff I'm with, but it's like after this, I'm going straight to the studio. I'm going to pay I'll go to the nicest studio. I'm gonna go straight to a studio and pay money and get my shit recorded. It's like I've had problems every time, get my shit recorded, practice, stuff like that, people being all on the same page and like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's like, it's a problem of mine right now. And it's one of my biggest problems. And it's like, I'm ready to literally go to the studio and get my shit recorded if it doesn't get recorded within the next week. And that's not on anybody. I love the man that I'm working on my next project with. He's going through a lot right now. And it's like, that's another reason why you can't rely on people. Well, you should want to, you can rely on people. People are good, but it's like, you can't always rely on people. Like you have to have some sort of independence. And, what if somebody's, like someone's life can fall apart. Like someone could be really hurting. Someone could have to move away. Someone could pass away. Anything could happen. The person that you're relying on could die. The person you're relying on could go to jail. The person you're relying on could be like, hey, I don't want to make music anymore. And it's like, to have some sort of I think it's good that you have a balance between betting on yourself and betting on others. If you're betting completely on yourself, well, I don't think you really go wrong with that. But without the help of others, it ain't gonna work. But betting on others without the help of yourself ain't gonna work. And it's like having a balance, and it's like I'm dealing with it right now. And like I said, I've got love for everybody, and like I really love the people that I work with. But it's like my plan for my next couple albums is just to like studio. Like I'll go pay for studio time. I know there's studios, there's businesses to go. We just got that on tape. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
We keeping that.
We ain't cutting shit
no,
out.
We ain't cutting nothing out.
That's the raw edited. Basically, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about not being as independent as I should be. Like that, what I just did. I gotta do my thing, and it's like I it's my life, and it's like it's all I think about. It's literally all I want and I think about and all I look forward to. And it's like putting that in someone's hands. They might not be looking forward to it as much as you. They might have something going on, and it's just like find a way, make a sacrifice, find a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, listen, how important is that sacrifice? How important is that sacrifice? Tell him, Mike. Tell him.
It's the biggest thing. It's important because if you don't make that sacrifice, you're gonna be stuck like I am right now, waiting to make that sacrifice that I need to make. That's how important it is I'm aware that it's like if I don't start to make some sort of sacrifice, there ain't gonna be no change. Like the sacrifice is like literally even me quitting doing the open mics and moving away somewhere. It's like that is a sacrifice I have to make. And if I don't make that, I sacrificed I basically sacrificed an opportunity to get signed last year. Wasn't to a big label, but they were ready to budget music videos and make connections and spend thousands of dollars on me. And I sacrificed that. I didn't want to do that because the heart wasn't there. People were ignorant. They're mean and they didn't have love for independent people. Like they were like, well, who's your friend? How many followers do they have? And it's like, no, like fuck that shit. Like I have the opportunity to sign a label to someone who basically is in the family of an artist that I really like. Like literally, like I have the chance to sign to someone who is literally related to someone who is a part of one of my favorite songs ever. And I made that sacrifice and then signed to that. There was a sacrifice that was needed to make on either side. It was like sacrifice my sanity and sacrifice my independence and my not pride, but like my sacrifice who I am as a person and sacrifice like my wellness to get this thing, or to sacrifice that first temptation and to wait out and to keep rolling the boat and wait for a door to open that's meant for me. When I do, I'm gonna keep walking until I find that door, and when I find that door, I'm walking through it. I'm not gonna walk through the first door that I see because there might be a trap door. I might fall in a hole on some spikes. Might kill me. There's some bondage in that. Like there's some bondage into walking through the wrong door. It's like there's like cords, energy cords, energy ties. It's like I felt it before I even signed. Like I felt this like restriction. I felt this like possession. I felt like this person was trying to have power over me. And it's not necessarily like a paranoia thing. Like I felt like they were trying to take over my life, but it's like they're very
directive.
What word am I looking for? Like narcissistic.
Yeah.
Like I already know who I want to be my manager, and like it's probably like that's gonna be like if Drake is down, Drake is gonna be my manager. There's no one else in the world I'd want than one of my best friends in the world to be my manager, especially knowing he's the smartest person with fucking anything, business, money, and like how much like Drake is he's a nut, dude. That motherfucker's nut. Like Drake knows everything about marketing. He's got his own business. He sells Pop Funkos, hat pins, fucking Pokemon cards, fucking shoes, PlayStations. He knows how to sell stuff. He knows how to make connections. He makes money just from being in Discord. He was in Discord chats where he's like, oh, this one on sale. Let me send it to these people. Boom. And he gets paid monthly to like make moves for people. And it's like, that's the man that I'm paying, that I want to pay to make moves for me. Not some girl who doesn't actually like genuinely care, really likes my music, really knows that I have power. Like that's what she came to me for. Anybody, she's like, when I heard you, I was starstruck, like starstruck. But she's like, I was like, holy fuck, like this kid has the potential to be like a groundbreaking, like huge. But it's like moral compass is what matters to me. Who you are as a person matters to me. Drake, that motherfucker, if I'm off my shit, he's gonna tell me what's good, but it's like he's not gonna treat me like shit. He's not gonna he's not the person that's like, oh, look at them, they don't have this amount of money or this amount of followers. He's always trying to help his friends make money. He's always trying to help his friends get into something new. He's always trying to make connections. He's always trying to help,
Exactly.
Drake, if you're listening to this, you are my manager officially now. I'm calling you later tonight. You're my fucking manager. We've beat around the bush about it for so freaking long. Like he's like, when are you just gonna blow up so I can manage you already? And like I'm gonna call him tonight. I'm gonna be like, dog, I'm never gonna blow up until you manage me. It's not when I blow up you start managing me. It's like I need you to manage me now. So
Right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what he wants to do. Like he actually wants to do that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, everybody, this is the premiere season 2 of the Synch podcast. We've had Mic Over, everybody. Check out everything gonna be in the description of the video, y'all. All listeners and people watching, we appreciate y'all. Mic Over, everybody. Man, a legend in the region.
Little L in the building. Little Ellis. Oh my God, no, I just said
it's
it.
Okay. It's okay. There. No, we ain't gonna. You said it all through the thing. It's all right. It's okay.
Wait, I said no, I didn't.
Yes, you
no,
did.
I didn't. Did I?
You did. You did. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. That just shows how close we are. So yeah, he know my government name, everybody. He know my government name, but it's okay. It's all right. No problem. No problem. But we appreciate you coming on, and I've been wanting you on. Now we got the season 2. You know what I'm saying? The premiere season 2. Everybody go check out Mic Over. Everything gonna be in the description we talk about, but check them out on IG, Facebook, all platforms. We talk about Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everything, all that.
Hell.
Shout out to Mary Lane.
On God. Shout out to Mary Lane. Thank you for having me on, bro.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. We're gonna have you on again too as well. We're gonna have you on again. It's not the last time. All right.
Maybe next time I'm on, we gonna talk about some deep spiritual shit. Today was the music. Today was about Mic Over. Mm-hmm. But we gonna talk about the universe next time.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to. All right, y'all. We out of here.
Hey, what's the last words you gotta say real quick?
Last words?
Yeah. Well, the last words. The magic words. Yeah.